Right, it's time for the interactive.
The interactive segment, and it looks like Steve has all the gadgets.
I am ready,
today.
but I won't tweet or anything. Maybe the same bottom.
Oh.
Nothing.
You don't want to come help me out? Maybe read a few of the comments?
No. Hey, it's your turn. You have to engage with our audience.
Okay, so let me tell you
what are you engaging them on?
Let me tell you what we are talking about. So a lot of issues are trending today. Obidim and Ifya Schwarzenegger are trending. No comments on that heated exchange. We'll bring you something about that later. But after spending over 3 years away from her official residence, the CHRAJ Commissioner, Loretta Vivian Lamte, happily sent a statement that she has now moved into her official residence. Yay! Finally, she deserves a standing ovation. But should it all end the accusations and petitions against her? I'm Efua Harrison. This is what we are discussing. You're watching Gen Interactive. I'll be right back. Now, join us via all our social media platforms. We're on facebook.com/Joy News on TV. You can also find us on Twitter. The handle is @Joy News on TV or @Gen Interactive GH. Send your messages through. It's Joy News. I am at multitvworld.com. That's it. That's email us at that address. Or you can send your messages on WhatsApp. It's 054010909. WhatsApp number again is 054010909. And remember, Surfline proudly supports Gen Interactive. Surfline, it's about time. Well, the good news is that the CHRAJ Commissioner has finally decided to move to her official residence. This means our money can breathe. Now, the Daily Graphic reports that over 160,000 Ghana cedis had been spent between August and November on hotel bills alone for the CHRAJ boss. Wow. So, 3 months after public outcry over the commissioner living in a hotel, she did not move a muscle and stayed put in the hotel. But let's quickly link to Francis Aban. He has been following up on the beat and he joins us via telephone line. Francis, welcome to Joy News Interactive.
Thank you, Efra.
So you have been following up the CHRAJ Commissioner's accommodation issue for a while. What can you tell us?
Right then, so sometime in 2011, when the CHRAJ Commissioner took over, it was definite that she had to be housed by the state, and so accommodation needed to be provided. But as you would know, in August into September this year, there was some controversy about where she's living and why renovation of her official residence has stalled over this period. What we do know now is that after spending some 3 months at the Best Western Premier Hotel, the Premier Suite, in fact, she has now moved into her official residence. Remember that for the suite she was in, paying some $450, and that's actually the state that was paying. What I do know is that as of Wednesday morning, Madam Lamte moved into her official residence. Now, this is the explanation I got from her today when I placed a call to her. She tells me that some 8 weeks ago, the contractor who was supposed to do the job on the official residence informed her that based on some arrangements, she would have the building renovated within some weeks, dependent on the availability of funds. And so the process started. But 3 weeks down the line, after the contractor had made an announcement to the CHRAJ Commissioner, work stalled. And the reason was simple. It was because there was lack of funds. So that means that from 5 weeks from today, no work has been happening at the official residence. Today, I went there in my bid to find out what was happening, if there had been any progress from what we knew initially. What I found was that the sources of the residents told me that there is electricity in the house. There's actually a standby generator also in the house. The only problem, which is big for the commissioner, is that she doesn't have access to running water. What that means is that her poly tanks have been filled, and that's what she's heavily relying on. Let me also mention that renovation work, the reason for which she stayed at the Best Western Premier Hotel for some time, was supposed to have been over a period Since June last year, up until September this year, the renovation was done in bits and pieces. So today the contractor will come to work. Tomorrow he wouldn't come. And then the matter of some extra work that has to be done has to be sorted out. That was not done. And so today, I can tell you that Madam Lamte will spend tonight in the
official
completed official residence of Madam Lamte.
Okay. Now you did mention that government paid her hotel bill. Was it from the budget of CHRAJ?
Well, that has been the thorny bit, because all through this week I've been following on this story. I placed a call to the Deputy Commissioner at CHRAJ to get an understanding as to who was paying when the news broke. Because this $450 per day at the Premier Suite of the best Western Premier Hotel.
A few months ago when it broke, she said she was actually paying her own hotel accommodation and they had given her a discount.
Well, discount, yes, but I'm not sure if she was actually paying from her purse. What I'm reliably informed is that there was an arrangement for her to live there on certain terms. What I do know is that money has not been paid to Best Western, but there was an arrangement that the Finance Ministry will foot the bill for the period that Madam Lamte stayed at the Best Western Premier Hotel.
Okay, thank you very much. I've been speaking with my colleague Francis Aban. He has been following the CHRAJ boss's accommodation issue closely. He was giving us updates there on what the latest is so far, and he has let us know that, Madame Lamte will now be spending tonight in the official CHRAJ residence, which is still undergoing renovations. Let's find out what the public has been saying about this issue, because, a lot of people really were furious when that report came out, or that report was broadcast by the Daily Graphic, and especially with the amounts of the amount of money that was mentioned in those reports. Let's listen to the public.
For putting that lady in the hotel, I don't know how many months, how many years that they put her in the hotel. There are cost lots of financial problem to the state as well. Yeah, because at least the people in charge, they have their own estates or accommodation. They're supposed to at least put in one of their estates instead of that hotel, costing this huge amount. At least it's not nice.
I learned the apartment for the CHRAJ board was available before she moved to the hotel, and I don't think if an apartment or a street bungalow is available, I don't think that thing should be allowed, because going to the hotel, sleeping over there for I think more than 5 months, it's a lot of money. And that, yeah, 200,000, and that money can be used in doing some development or something. The money is too huge to be wasted.
I think you people should let go of it, because in the Bible it says what you give to someone, you don't have to take it back. If really you give it from giving out from your heart, you don't have to take it back again. So I think they should leave it, or they should let it be there.
So your comments from the streets over there, last lady was saying we should let the issue go. Well, we'll be talking to someone who doesn't want to let the issue go right after the break. I will be speaking with Richard Nyama, who is with the Progressive Nationalist Forum. I'll be right back. This is still your most interactive half hour, GN Interactive, with me, Ifwa Akwa Harrison. We've been talking about CHRAJ boss, Miss Loretta Lamte. We've been told that tonight she is finally moving into her official CHRAJ residence. Now, if you can recall, a few weeks ago, news broke out that she wasn't living there. She was actually living at a hotel or in a hotel because of renovation works on her residence. Anyway, Richard Nyama joins us via telephone. He is with the Progressive Nationalist Forum. Now, what the Progressive Nationalist Forum have actually done is to send a petition to impeach her. Welcome to Gen Interactive. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Gen Interactive, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Now, the CHRAJ commissioner has moved into her official residence. Is that the end of the issue?
Oh, good evening to your listeners. For me, it is the beginning of the issue. There are a few questions that are still hanging unanswered, and I'll seek a few answers from Madame Loretta and then the Minister of Finance and then the Controller and Accountant General. One, it's good to know that she's finally moved out of the hotel, the Qatar hotel or expenses. 161,000 Ghana cedis. It's not chicken feed. But point is, the hotel, the residence that she's moving in, the shape and form that it is currently, has been so since we last spoke about this matter. And so my point is, if 3 months ago she didn't see it fit to move it into this hotel, what has changed? That today she sees the need to move in, because no further works have been done. In actual fact, the hotel has been ready for the last 3 months. So what I'm saying is that if Madame Loretta thinks that by moving out to the place now, she's done a yeoman's job, I'm sorry. I will call on the Minister of Finance to charge these monies to her account, the hotel bills, because I'm aware this place has been intact the way it is for some time now, and she simply refused to move in. And the ministry, unfortunately, has been paying the bills. So I will pray them to charge it to her account.
Okay.
But there is also something curious. Since Madame Loretta Lamte was employed, 2011, she hasn't been paid by the state.
I see.
And so I am wondering how they expected her to fend for herself and her family. What I'm implying is that not to justify this opulence on her part, I think the state or the government to a large extent contributed in many ways to burdening the state with her opulence. In the sense that if she's not been paid and she has to survive, she would have to find ways and means of doing that for 3-4 years. And evidence I have is that largely Madame Loretta has resorted to going on several trips as a way of making money. And she can go just on one conference in a week and make as much as $5,000 in per diem and allowances. And so she has not also bothered about the salary aspect of it, because she's able to make $15,000 to $20,000 in a month traveling. And these are the ways and means. If we want to plug the corruption loopholes in this country, these are the areas we need to tackle. Madame Loretta hasn't been to work since April, and nobody is asking questions about that. Nobody is monitoring to see whether she's using our monies well or not.
So,
within that period, she's been traveling abroad and making money.
So, Richard,
so, yeah.
not to cut you, but tell us quickly, how far are you taking this this issue, especially with the case now? How far has it gotten?
Yes, she says she has responded to the Chief Justice. In the normal course of procedure of these issues, what happens is that if I make allegations against you, I have to put it in writing, which I have done and which the Chief Justice rightly served on her. She says she has responded to the petition since the 20th of this month. And so 20th, today is 27th. Granted that the postal system is a bit slow, I haven't received her response from the Chief Justice, because the normal thing to do is for them to also copy me what her responses are, and then I would prepare and come and answer to that. And myself and my lawyer are fully prepared. In actual fact, let me assure the public, I am getting even more information from witnesses and documentations to further make further cases and other cases against her. And so I can assure the public we are in good stead. I made 9 cases against her, and each and every single one of them I have the evidence to go and prove before the Chief Justice's committee.
All right.
And trust me, we are going to go the full length of this issue.
All right, thank you very much. I've been speaking to Richard Nyama. He is with the Progressive Nationalist Forum. I will be back with a few of your comments on Facebook and on WhatsApp after this. You're welcome back. You're still watching GN Interactive. We have been telling you about the CHRAJ boss's return to, or actually move into her official residence. Now, we've been asking on Facebook whether that should end all the cries against her, all the calls for her impeachment. And here are a few of your comments. Junior Love Camry says, seriously speaking, Madagana weeps. So the question is, if this rot wasn't exposed to the general public, would she still have been living lavishly in the hotel? To be honest with you, the damage has been done, so we just have to move on. Impeachment for what? Knight Masha Bob says, thank God at least we will save money for other projects. Boys are brenading. Okay. And Baba Musa Tamale says, in fact, when the story first broke, I was not happy how the CHRAJ boss handled her accommodation issue, though she could have a genuine accommodation challenge. In principle, the office she occupies, CHRAJ, put her in a very tight situation. As a result, she ought to have used her discretionary power wisely. But all in all, I think it is better late than never. It is refreshing to note that she had packed out of the hotel to her official residence. This will save the nation some avoidable expenditure. So that's Baba Musa from Tamale. Atu Brown says, putting it behind us is like putting that much money into the KVIP. Someone is jailed for stealing tomatoes and we should put $200,000 behind us. I think as a country, we have failed totally. So those are a few of your comments coming through on Facebook. Let's quickly take what's trending, and I'll see if I can read a few of your WhatsApp comments as well.
Today's Friday, and I'm obviously loving it. I'm sure you've heard a lot about social media wars. Well, today it's about TV's Schwarzenegger and a prayer warrior. No, prayer general. That's much better. Let's go to Twitter and see what people are saying. Tweet here by Miss Blush. I want to be in Obinim's church to hear the insults he will pour on Ifya, and his members will back him up with pow, pow. Well, Ifya, I am praying for you. I pray you don't see Obinim in your dreams, Mom. And that's a tweet from Nane Kia. What did Obinim say to Ifya to deserve this plain revelation? Well, aside the wife part, Mom. Urake, you need to listen to the whole tape. Lots of stuff. And here is Gilbert. Obinim angry because Rollins and Ifya Schwarzenegger said he's fake. It Is he telling me he doesn't know that himself? Okay, no comments, Gilbert. No comments. This Bishop Obinim and Efia Schwarzenegger beef is priceless. Hey, shots on shots. What a way to end an overly dramatic year for GH. Dramatic indeed. Mame Sama says Efia Schwarzenegger and Obinim cracking me up this May. My goodness. Really interesting tweets coming in there. I'm just going to be passive in all this, okay? But let me tell you, I don't think this is over. This is definitely social media World War I. This has been What's Trending. My name is Lord Kote. Charlie, what do you think?
Lord, I'm thinking quite a lot about that issue. I listened to a snippet of Efia Schwarzenegger's response, and oof, oh boy. And Kofi from Esikuma says, Bishop Obinim, by their fruits ye shall know them. That one is coming through via WhatsApp. And let me quickly see if I can take one on the CHRAJ boss issue. It's better for her to move because she saw that the budget read in Parliament last week will not help her stay. It would have come at a time when she can't get money to pay bills. The budget read last week didn't give anyone even a single hope heading towards 2015. So it's better for her to leave. And that's from Magzi from Bimbila on the CHRAJ boss.
If you were the CHRAJ boss, would you have left already?
Yes.
Would you have stayed in the hotel at $450 a night, even if you weren't earning salary and you know that the issue is that, you know, the CHRAJ boss has said before on record that there isn't money for them to actually do their mandate. So that is where, you know, for most of us, it's really, it's like, okay, there's no money for, you're saying there's no money for CHRAJ to do work, and then there's money to do premier suite.
It's a
right. I want to be CHRAJ boss actually. When I grow, I like
when
to
you
be
grow up, you want to be the CHRAJ boss.
So my name is Stephen Enti.
My name is Efua Harrison. Thanks for hanging out, and have a good weekend.
Great weekend. Good evening.
Good evening.
Join News in